Hey YouTube, Electric Adventures here with a look at my Vectrex collection. So this is the items that I have in my physical Vectrex collection. The Vectrex is a system that I absolutely loved back in the day. They had some of them in the store that I used to work for. I never owned one back in the day, but I have owned one for quite a time since I started collecting games, and actually owned two at one stage. As I traded something, and that's allowed me to pretty much, I believe, collect all of the original games. Not complete like some of the other parts of my collection, but I'm happy with what I have so far. So of course, let's get into it. So the first thing I have is obviously a physical Vectrex unit. I don't have a box or anything like that. It's got my scramble overlay in there. It's got a few dings and things like that on it, but it works. It has the hum that they have, which is pretty much as they were back in the day. The original joystick that came with it has a bent joystick, so I managed to get another controller here. So this one's this is an official controller, but it has the different overlay from the PAL one, so I believe that's a US one. And that works quite well. The buttons are okay, but the one thing I would really love for my Vectrex is probably a new arcade stick. Now I have two Multicarts. So this is the Multicart I got pretty much just after I got the system. So this is the Vectrex Vecrom Multicart, just like in a VCR style case. Put it up there so you guys can maybe have a bit of a breeze. It has pretty much most of the original releases and a couple of little homebrew games on there as well. And here's the cartridge, and you have to physically select the game you want to play using the dip switches before you plug the cartridge in. And Vectrex, I'm not sure where they made the shell from. It's not exactly the same as a Vectrex cartridge shell, so the cartridge PCB is a little bit exposed, but that one works, and I've used that one a lot in the past. At some stage, I can't remember when I got this, and I'm not sure I've ever done a video of it, but I grabbed it after a fellow YouTuber, Vectrex Rolly, who we haven't actually seen a video from for quite some time. Hope he's doing okay. He's an absolute Vectrex nut, so he put links at the time they were selling these Vectrex Multicarts. So it's actually in this nice little package, and there are actually two Multicarts in there. With slightly different things in them. I'll get that out to show you. They come on these little slivers. There's chips on the back as well, but they plug in quite nicely. And there is a second one as well. And they have so modern games, lots of homebrews and things like that. So all good things: Rockoroids, More Invaders, Vectrex, Spikes, Water Balloons, Bomb and Hagen, City Bomber, Frogger, Gravitex, Nebula Command, all sorts of really interesting games. Patriots 3, Revector, Rounders, Space Frenzy, Spike Hoppin', Thrust, Varboom, Vec Sports Boxing, Vecmania 1, Repulse, Rockoroids Remix 3rd, Rock, Abyss Demo, Starfire Spirits, Vecmania 2, Disc Duel Demo, Vector Vaders Remix, Patriots Remix, Birds of Prey, then Vectopia Control Test, Spikes Water Balloons, Starfire Early Work Edit 1 and 2, Trackers, Vectropolis Demo, Starfire Test, Vectrace, Wormhole. And there's some more demos. There's Buck Prelude, Dual Vec Test 1 and 2, Manu's Old School Demo, Moonlander Demo, and Performance VX. So it's a collection of mainly homebrew titles. And that's the Modern Games M2 cart. And on the other side, the classic games are all your original titles. I'll try and hold it up there, but you might get a bit of reflection. So you actually get two carts. One's got all the homebrew stuff, and the other one's got all of the original classic games, and it's all selected from a menu, so you don't need to change dip switches. And there are a couple of stickers in there if you get hold of some original cartridge cases. You can, rather than having a bare PCB, you can actually put them into a cartridge case. I've got around to doing that. Okay, so my 3 physical boxed titles, and I do have quite a few overlays, so I'll go through those separately. This is probably my most recent box title, is Starship. It's quite a good, shooting into the screen type game, and it's in not too bad condition. I said I'm not going to open all of these up. Just going to check whether the overlay. Yeah, so that has the manual and the overlay in there. Back to one side. Next we have, and this one has a box protector, which is good because the box is in pretty rubbish shape, is Bedlam. Really manic game where you're in the centre screen and you're shooting the things that are coming from the different angles, but the different the screen changes. It's not just like 3 directions. Sometimes you get 4 directions, 5 directions. You're inside different shapes, so it gets harder and faster. A really good game. My box is in fairly average condition, but it's better than having no box at all. And I have an overlay and manual for that in there. I do believe this is one I have a spare overlay and manual for. Next we have Web Wars, which is probably a game I haven't played as much, but it's an into the screen shooter. And that's quite a good fun game. There is a variant of this one, I think, and it's called something slightly different in different markets. That one, the boxes, it's not as bad as Bedlam, and it's in a box protector, and that's all complete as well. So they're my 3 complete games. So let's go through my loose ones, and some of them I do have overlays for. So we have Scramble, pretty much the only official homebrew version of Scramble. Super Cobra was ported to heaps of home systems, but not Scramble. But the Vectrex got Scramble, and it's a really good, fun version. By the fact that I leave the Scramble overlay on the machine, shows you how much I like playing that one. Clean Sweep. I haven't actually played that one as much, but you've got to protect items that are in the centre of the screen. Flipper Pinball, not a bad little pinball game. My most recent title is Armour Attack, where you're attacking tanks and things like that. I haven't actually tried to see whether you can play that 2 players. Quite a good racing game with Hyper Chase. Stack these so they don't fall over. Soccer Football, so it's a soccer game. Probably not the best game in the system, but it's an okay sports title. Solar Quest. I haven't actually played this one for ages. I'm going to not tell you the wrong thing. Rip Off. So this is the one where you have your you've got to protect the boxes in the centre of the screen. Aliens will come in and try and steal those boxes, and you've got to shoot them either before they steal the boxes or while they're stealing the boxes before they get them off the screen. Blitz is an American football type game. Not really my cup of tea. So Web Warp is actually the same game as Web Wars. That's the variant. I've kept that as a loose cartridge as well, rather than trading it, just because it's got a variant label and name. The actual cartridge cases are slightly different. The rest of them are a very light blue colour, whereas that one's a black one. This one's also a black one, and this is Spike. This is a bit like a Donkey Kong platform game. Very big characters, not very, I suppose the game's not very detailed, but it is quite unusual in the fact that it has speech. Now, Cosmic Chasm, this is actually one of my favourite Vectrex games from back in the day. This is the very first game that I played on the system when it was in its demo console in the shop, so I have very fond nostalgic memories of this one. This one you have to work your way through a maze of chasms and manoeuvre around the enemies in each of them to get to the special central chasm, shoot it, and then you've got to fly all the way out before the whole thing explodes, and you get less and less space as the timer ticks down. It's a really good game with a lot to it that I like. Now, a really good shooter that I didn't play back in the day, but I'm really glad I have is Fortress of Narzod. It's a lot of reflective shots and bouncing shots from both you and the enemies, and it's just a really fast-paced, really nice shooter. And again, that goes without saying, especially with the cabinet that you can see in the background, is Berserk. One of the better home versions of Berserk. It plays really well on the system, and everybody who has a Vectrex should have a copy of Berserk. So, what overlays do I have? So I've got them all on this special tin to protect them. I probably should look after my Scramble one better. Now I have the manual for the system, and they come in these nice sleeves too. So we have the Mindstorm overlay. So the game that is built into the system is called Mindstorm, which is like a bit like Asteroids. I have the manual for Scramble, the manual for Berserk, and the front cutout of the box of Berserk. Then we have my Berserk overlay, which is in pretty decent condition. I've got the manual for Spike and the overlay for Spike. So if I found some sort of nice box case that fit these, and actually I have these mini cases that work quite well for the Neo Geo MVS cartridges. They may actually suit. And there's the Solar Quest manual and the Solar Quest overlay. That one's a little scratched. Fortress of Narzod manual and the overlay. It really does add to the games with the overlays because it adds that colour. Just makes the games more fun to play. Probably a game I didn't play very much at all, but Blitz. And the Blitz overlay has a little bit of damage. We have the manual for Soccer Football and the overlay. The manual for Hyper Chase and the overlay. And there we go, I have a spare manual and overlay for Bedlam. So if anybody wants to trade anything, I have a cartridge as well as a complete one. I have an overlay for one of my favourites, Cosmic Chasm. It's a little worn. No manual for that one though. Got the manual for Clean Sweep. And there we go, so Clean Sweep's more like a Pac-Man type game. And then I do actually have the manual for Web Warp and the overlay for Web Warp, which is the variant on the Web War. And last but not least, we have the manual for Flipper Pinball, and I'll get it out. So I don't have the protective covers for all of them, and the overlay for Flipper Pinball. So very lucky to have that many items in my physical Vectrex collection. So this is just a quick video to show you what I have in my physical collection. I'm not going to do a gameplay video because for a start it's daytime and flickering screen and all, but I might do some more gameplays of Vectrex titles into the future. Which ones would you like me to have a go at? Comments down below, and I'll see if I can record them probably at night after work when I can turn all the lights off and get a good picture. Alright, I'm Electric Adventures. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.